Hey guys, this is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching doing the trade review for Thursday the 29th of May. Wow, we're almost to June, and damn, it was actually a pretty boring day in my book. It really looked like we could continue to grind higher. We're just caught in what is the initial stage of a move to the upside, right? And those moves tend to get linear and not be two-sided. That tends to generally it lasts about a week. It can last as much as 2 or 3 weeks, but usually it's about a week. And then once we start really kind of getting stretched, we start getting buyers and sellers stepping in. Generally in these markets, it's been my experience that the long side is easier to trade than the short side. And then coming into this morning, we had a couple of things. Now, most of my coaching clients were with me in the live market preview. We actually traded into the first hour together. And essentially, what I saw this morning was that both NQ and ES were pressing their Globex highs out of the gate and lifting Globex highs out of the gate. And so I was hesitant to take a short. Normally into Globex high, I'm willing to take a short. I was hesitant to take a short this morning because I really felt we were going to extend higher. There was no selling pressure overnight. The econ that had come out at 7:30 didn't exert any selling pressure on the market. And basically, I was trying to scalp to the upside via NQ into the econ data. That trade worked and didn't work. I was able to get scalps, but I was never able to get this extension that I was looking for, and the reason why is it simply didn't come until the end of the day. We did do some backing and filling into the Globex low and into gap fill down here. So the question is, when we're in this situation, because obviously I don't need to go over in detail that we just had this tiny little range, right? The question that I try to address for both myself and for my traders is, how does this trading fit in to my monthly picture of making my P&L numbers, and how do I make sure that I stay on the profitable side of the trade? So a couple of things come to mind. First of all, on the P&L side, right, I'm actually going to close out the month decent. Let me see here. We have one more day in the month, so no matter what, I'll be profitable. Currently, hopefully that's profitable. I can tack on anywhere between 2 and 4 additional points tomorrow on the ES ledger. Right. Currently, I'm sitting for the month at 20.25 points up. Now, this assumes a couple of things on the spreadsheet, right? First of all, it assumes I took the entire profit at up 2, that I did not leave any trailers, right? Nor does it assume that I got stopped on any trailers that I left, right, when I moved stops up to break even. So this is just the most basic, straightforward execution of the strategy. I took a trade. It rotated up 2 points or down 2 points, and I took profit and left. And under that scenario, you'd have up about 20.25. If you could have done this perfectly, I mean, entered and exited the top perfectly of each trade or each opportunity that you had, you'd be up about 53 points. So the reality probably lies somewhere a little bit lower if you got stopped a few times. The reality lies that, depending on how you executed it, somewhere between 15 points up and 35 or 40 points up is probably the reality with trailers for this month. And it's been a hard month, right? When the market gets directional and it gets compacted, meaning we don't have a wide range. If you look at the range for the past month, and I want to show you all this. Okay, so if you look here, and I'm going to pull a chart up really fast because there's not a lot of point in going into detail on this particular chart. But if we switch this up to a 15-minute chart, and we come, okay. Look at the ranges we were experiencing through this period of time, right? We had really nice ranges intraday all the way through here. And this really goes from the 1st of May all the way to the 19th of May. But if you look, and P&L was plugging along quite nicely here, but if you look, starting on the 21st all the way through today, man, the ranges just got absolutely bone crushed to very small, tiny directional moves. Okay, this happens occasionally. It's not a big deal, and it's not the end of the world, right? But it doesn't provide the opportunities that were occurring at the beginning of the month. Okay, so what do I look to do in that situation? First of all, if I can get my 1 or 2 trades a day for 2 points apiece, that's great. Let's just throw that on the Barbie and continue cooking. But what usually happens in this situation is I get no counter rotation lower, so I never get an opportunity to get long into these positions. Why? Because I'm looking for nice fat rotations down, like I'm getting here, like I'm getting here, right? Or nice fat rotations up, so I can get trades to the downside, right? If I'm not getting any of this kind of rotation either way, I don't get the opportunity to get long. And that's just part of the deal with the trading. And then I end up, what am I doing? I'm sidestepping getting run over in a grind up, straight up environment. This is not unprecedented. If we look a little bit further back, and I'll just give you an example here, right? You can see here, back in mid-April, we went through a similar situation where we had these tiny little ranges. They lasted about a week, right? All I did was sidestep it, and I then had plenty of time to make all the money I wanted to make. This was a great market here. So I know if I just bide my time, I'll get this market back. The problem is for most traders is that most traders get into this situation and they demand that they make money immediately and right now, and they overtrade a market that has too tight a range or is just simply not giving them setups, right? And that's what we had the majority of today. So if you look, the only thing I was comfortable scalping in this area was ES to the upside. Okay, I really thought we were going to break higher. We showed no indication of going lower. And if you look during the first half hour, right, we had an attempt at half gap, which we got, but we had no attempt at gap fill, right? And then we just basically traded sideways for the first half hour. Often in a strong market, that'll lead us to popping up and going directly up to this 1916 and a quarter to 1918 and a quarter area, which I had targeted originally as being my my upside target for today, right? That was initial resistance, right? So the market did its job in the zone. If you took a short here because you thought it was going to act as resistance, look, it sat in here for 25 minutes and it finally got the rotation lower. The next part that's a little frustrating for me, but nothing that's end of the world, right, was I had been sitting right back here at 1906 approximately, trying to get long at that location. Okay, the market didn't rotate down there, but you got to remember what my strategy is. I'm trying to get long, particularly in ES, where it's very difficult for others to take my money and very easy for me to take other people's money. Again, I was affected by the fact that the rotation size has become compacted. I sat extremely patiently and waited down there. Obviously, if they would have given me an entry and in fantasy trade land, you know, we would have come down here and then proceeded up to 1918, and that would have given me potentially a 12-point rotation higher, right? So I know a couple of things from looking at the way the day ended. First of all, looking long was the correct look, right? We're at new all-time highs. There's nothing bearish about the market. Once it breaks, there'll be plenty of time to get shorts. Secondly, I didn't overpress my case for the long side. Why? I want to have discipline. I know this range will expand again, and usually what happens to traders is when they start trading for smaller rotations, they tend to get smacked as soon as the rotation gets larger. I'm fine not getting every single trade that's out there, and instead, again, my strategy is I only want the best trades and the best setups. This Globex low came right in the middle of the prior day's range. It's not ideal, at least for me. And again, since I view myself as providing leadership for the guys that I'm coaching, I'm gonna, and for myself, right? I make my living trading. That's how I make my income, right? I'm going to, and I trade in a very leveraged way. Okay, I'm not trading small. I'm trading big, and I'm trading big relative to my account size as well. So I'm going to wait for the best setups. If I do not get those, I'm fine missing. Now, just for the scorecard, in case anyone was doing it, this was a valid trap here. The Globex low, I didn't take it because I'd already said this is the area I was looking for. It wasn't enough of a stretch for me. Normally, I don't care about the stretch, but on this particular day, I really thought we were going to get down there. Again, lack of activity in the pre-market is also kind of screwing up the Globex locations, right? Secondly, there was a trap right here at Globex high, and that was a valid short to the downside. So I guess if I was going to criticize either way, I could have taken both trap trades, and they were both worth multiple points in both directions, and I ignored them. What I did well, okay, I want to go through, because again, for everything I did poorly, there's two sides of the balance sheet, and no trader should be beating themselves up one way or the other. Okay, so what I did well, I was patient and waited for my trade location, right? In NQ, I gave it a attempted push I made an attempted push both times. And let's get rid of this stuff. I took attempts 2 times from the 1722 level to make a push higher. Obviously, that did not work out for me. It's unfortunate. Obviously, I was setting my stops just below these lows here, and they tagged me out, and it's unfortunate. It was just for a couple of points. I could have ended up with 2 profitable trades, but again, NQ never really rotated lower. And so I, again, think that I had the correct concept going. It just didn't pan out for me. The trap trade, by the way, here, where we got a A-grade trap trade, and that panned out for a little bit of money. The B-grade trap trade here panned out for a little money, but again, I really wasn't looking to press the shorts, and I won't until I see someone else make the first move, which is a significant rotation lower. And I also want to be clear about something. Even on a significant rotation lower, or even if we have a trend down day on a correction, I really think that next day back the other direction is going to provide a better P&L opportunity than trying to capture the downside, right? What happens to traders in these situations when we get into a situation like this is they keep trying to call a top, okay, through all of this, through all of this, through all of this, and what they end up doing is digging a hole, okay, and then they have to have that one huge day just to get paid. So don't let that be you, okay? Don't let that be you in this situation where you're like, hey, I've got to have a great trade because I've buried myself in the process of trying to short these ups, right? It's already gone up a lot, and guess what? There's no rule that says it can't go up anymore. I really think from this point, we could still easily hit the 1938, 1940 level. It's possible on extension before we see a move back lower. Again, that's not a prediction. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked to see it up there. And then even then, again, even after that, right, I think the best trading opportunities, even if we have a move to the downside, I think the best opportunities will be in the day following a significant rotation lower. It'll just be an opportunity for those who've missed this up to step back in and buy again. You need some kind of event that's going to break this market, and we haven't seen it occur, and I see nothing on the horizon that's going to cause that to occur. So anyways, my name is Simon. I'm with Trade and Perform Coaching. I really hope this is helping some guys out there. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to open the room to everyone, okay? And I will work into the first hour of the day, so you're welcome to join us. I will post the link on StockTwits in the morning. If you would like to get an edge on your trading, I really think it's a tremendous value that I'm offering at $95 a month. You get the market preview, and on some days, not all days, I do trade into the regular session, and the attempt there is to show both my state of mind and the issue and the context at which I'm looking at the price action. Okay, and I've gotten really great feedback from multiple traders that's saying that's helping them significantly know what to in terms of knowing what to look for in terms of the nuances of the market. So my name is Simon. If you have any questions, you can reach me at tradeandperform@gmail.com. And again, I'll open the room to everyone tomorrow morning. If you have any questions, you're welcome to email me, send me a tweet, or direct message on StockTwits. Y'all have a good night. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow.